Hey everybody, this is Professor Snark. Just a really quick check-in. Since you're at some point in the writing process for the essay right now, hopefully fairly well along, but sometimes things take a little while to get going, or you have an idea that you're uh, really still working on organization, or you're rereading the text, doing the research, rereading some of that the secondary material. So somewhere in there, you're along the process somewhere. So this is a good point to kind of remind you to be thinking about something that we talked about at the very start of the term, which is just this basic idea that the essay that you're in the middle of writing, and you can kind of get so kind of deep into that process, you forget what the general purpose of the essay is. Remember, and this is like practically the first thing we talked about, the purpose of the essay is for you to show me that you understood and can now apply the concepts that we've discussed in class. So remember the analogy I used, that in the oversimplified example of, you take, let's just say, history. You take a history course, you sit in class, you learn some dates of events. You take a test, and there's like fill in the blank or choose the right date from the multiple choice or whatever. So it's sort of like a direct application of class time to the assessment device, the test that you're doing. Try to think about the essay as directly connected to our classwork as that, again, oversimplified kind of history example, in the sense that you can ask yourself now, because you're in the midst of the writing process, is it clear when I hand this in that I've learned and applied the various concepts we talked about? So, and you can go back through what we've done to get those concepts, but there's really not a ton of them, and they're fairly straightforward. We've talked about things like that whole shape of a paragraph, shape of an essay. So again, sort of a visual way of thinking about how you organize general versus specific statements. So where the thesis is, where topic sentences go, how you provide support in the form of direct quotation for those various topics that all kind of support the thesis. We've talked obviously about MLA citation, finding correct sources, integrating them smoothly and effectively into your writing. Of course, the works cited page, just in terms of formatting the whole page, formatting the individual entries. So there's really not like a ton of things that you're concerned with. There's really just a few kind of basic concepts that you really want to make sure your essay is now showing me that you've learned and can apply. So sometimes, again, like I said, even though that basic concept is pretty simple, we often forget, especially when we're really working kind of in a focused way on that essay, that ultimately what the goal is here is to show the professor, whoever that is, that you as the student have learned and applied the concepts from class, just like you would in that multiple choice example where you're picking from the right answer that you learned in class. So think of the essay in a very general way as doing exactly this. Okay, and of course a reminder that if you're having any questions at all, just to be in touch with me.